What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Extraordinary Man Podcast. You guys should know me by now. In case you guys don't know, let me remind you. My name is Phil Jones, Mike Jones, however you guys know me personally and professionally, and I am one half of the Extraordinary Man Podcast. And you guys know this incredibly insatiable, overly handsome, way too just everything under the sun. My brother, state your name.
I am Midas. Make sure you put a king in front of that.
Let's go. All right. That will never be corny. I don't care what y'all say. This is my brother. First and foremost, let's just get right into it, man. This is the first time since we started this.
Yeah.
Literally, we just crossed over our 2-year anniversary.
Yeah.
So August 28th was our 2-year. It's crazy how we transitioned from Clubhouse to taking this to YouTube, taking it via social media. And, you know, we ain't necessarily where we intend on being, obviously, next year, but when you look at the leaps and bounds that you can make within a year's time just by staying consistent, staying focused on a linear goal and seeing what happens. I mean, we got our own merch. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, man. And it's like, I just want to say, first and foremost, welcome to my backyard.
Man, Florida's awesome.
Man, listen. I know you ain't never, like, you come here, but you come here to go someplace else.
Correct.
How does it feel to come down here and come and see how it is that my quality of life is?
So to not come down here as a tourist, but to actually come down here and see Florida for real, totally different experience.
You can't feel gangster and wake up to palm trees, bro. Like, I can't wrap my mind around, ain't nothing tough about palm trees, yo. There's dates growing outside.
Yeah, man, it was beautiful. Like all different types of palms and seeing all the different luxury mansions and, you know, definitely puts you in a different perspective to start thinking differently for sure.
For the record, I'm not in one of those luxury mansions just yet. Stay tuned for the next episode of, no, joking. Nah, man, but you know, there's a couple of things, man. There's like, we had a whole show planned for y'all, and we've had all types of technical difficulties. Yeah. My brother done been down here for a little under a week now. So we're gonna give it to y'all as raw and uncut, and we're gonna give y'all a conversation based off how we interact, how we've always interacted since we were little. And hopefully y'all can receive it and just go from where it is.
Ain't got no choice, man. Everything we do is extraordinary.
Let's go. All right, so check this out. From moving down here 13 years ago, the one thing I can tell you that has changed the most is my perspective and outlook on just about every aspect of life. How I look at women is different. How I look at men is different. How I look at our obligations to one another is different. How I look at raising children is different. And I'm not saying that Florida itself was the catalyst for that. What I'll say is leaving where I was comfortable allowed me to go outside and find out who I really was. And there's been some rocks in the road, some bumps here and there, but you get to this place to where you start to realize, like, you know, I really got to figure this out. You got kids now. You got real responsibilities. You thought you had some, but I got real responsibilities. I got to keep a roof over their head, lights, everything. People are legit dependent on my decisions to make sure that their quality of life is preserved.
And that's crazy that you say that, because I kind of went through that same type of, I guess, mental growth or shift or epiphany, whatever you want to call it, when my eldest daughter got here. And, you know, you really start to change gears, especially when you are a father that wants the best for your child and you actually want your children, you know. You start to move differently, you start to think differently, you start to make sure that, you know, if you make this move, if you make this adjustment, how does this affect everything? You know, you think wider and not just you or you and the lady that you with, because you don't have this extra responsibility. So that definitely put me in a different state of mind.
You know, I'll say that reality didn't even hit me then. Reality officially hit me, or the first blow, I got into a car accident down here. And, you know, at fault. It's the first time I ever actually legitimately been at fault for an accident. and I'm dropping Britt off to work. I deviate away from my usual line of travel. Couldn't see, because the sun is so bright down here, couldn't see the stoplight. So I'm trying to gauge traffic. Somebody, I guess, blows through the yellow, so I'm thinking that it's still good to go. End up smacking a cop car, totaling out my vehicle. The worst part of it wasn't the totaling out of the vehicle. Wasn't even hitting the cop car, although I'm glad he's okay. The brunt of the damage happened on the passenger side, where she was blind out of her eyes for about 3 weeks. Airbag, because where she sits, the airbag, the plastic panel over the airbag, smack in her face. She can't see. Nobody knows if she's going to have her. Now, mind you, my daughter at the time was 4 years old. You imagine what it's like going through your head while you're sitting at the hospital thinking that you have maybe blinded your wife. And then now, just so that your child can eat, she has to grab her mother by the hand and walk her through the house to take her where she needs to go because she can't see it for herself.
That's rough.
The worst part about it is
that's rough, man.
The guilt of knowing that it's all your fault. It's all yours. No matter if it was an accident or not, you caused it. You're responsible for it. So thank God she got her sight back. You know, it was just swelling and inflammation and everything. But you don't know if what the long term is for that. Like if later on down the line, what she would probably never need glasses, that she'll eventually need them because of a rip or tear in the corneas or retinas or something like this. You don't know what the long term effect is. You just know that going down the line, you're just dealing with everything as it presents itself. But that was the first time that I really had a sense of real responsibility when I was put in a place to where it wasn't about me, where it was forget me. I start to realize the larger picture. Everybody will be impacted by this situation. Her parents, myself, child, finances, my job, how I do, what decisions that I make going forward. Everything now is more important than me and how I feel. Getting that blow really changed a lot for me. You know, and it's just like, even in time progressing, you never really, it was the first, I would say it was the first time that,
excuse me.
It was the first time that I was put in a position to have to rewire how I thought from it being a me thing to a we thing. Because no matter what goes on, everything is a we thing now. Everything is a we thing. Right. Everything is an aspect of teamwork. It don't matter how the team shifts over time. Don't matter if I'm the quarterback now and I'm the linebacker next week and I'm the guy getting the Gatorade a week after that. It don't matter what I'm doing.
Well, that's definitely, I mean, that's just part of being a man as well.
Yeah.
You know, we call that the Super Mario theory, where I'm putting on many different hats to make sure that this ship runs smoothly. So, I mean, I can feel you on that aspect. You know, I definitely have some empathy for the car accident situation. And I just learned that today. So that was kind of heavy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the whole thing is that a lot of these conversations we don't get to have. And when you're on the phone, you only have so much time on the phone. Like being able to sit right here in front of you, I feel like this is the opportunity to give people who are watching the true essence of extraordinary. It's just sitting in front of your brother and having a regular conversation. This is what life is. And no matter how the route went that got us to this place that we're at today, sitting in front of the camera and expressing God knows whatever, it happened. And all roads led to the same path, in a sense. And that's one thing that I do want to discuss is like men and their rites of passage. Things that they don't necessarily understand about themselves or what they're supposed to do. When you don't have fathers in the household, when you don't have legacies, when you don't have set standards or codes of ethic or codes of conduct by how you should proceed, when everything is a free-for-all, most of us as men, we eventually get here. But when we get here at different times. We get here in different places, different phases. Some people have to go to jail first. Some people can go straight. Some people are just laser focused. They see it, they understand. But a great deal of us have no clue. And it's these different life circumstances that happen that get you to a place to where you start realizing it. And by the time we get to a place to where we are now the new old head, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the information that we're giving to the younger generation now. The same stuff that people were trying to tell us that we didn't want to hear.
I mean, I can definitely relate to not having a clue. You know, in other words, putting together bylaws of how you want your life ran, how you want your household ran. And a lot of times when you start to, you know, grow and develop and move into different, you know, aspects of your life, and you start to want to structure things because you're gaining a hold and a grasp on your life moving forward, trying to obtain certain goals, and you start to try to put these the code of conduct and bylaws or whatever in place so that you can streamline what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go. Sometimes, you know, your significant other bump head with you because you've always operated this way, but now you trying to, you know, saying change up, and now you want to operate this way. We've never operated this way, but now you understand now. And I think that a lot of individuals can, you know, relate to that as well, where you finally are coming into your true manhood, and now you trying to
Put the pieces together.
Put the pieces together.